Hi guys! Welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Donnie and today I'm going to be telling you guys the story of how I got my Disney Pass revoked. This is not clickbait. I actually did get my Disney Pass revoked. This was about 4 or 5 years ago. I was definitely in high school, but yeah, it actually did happen and it was a very traumatic experience for me. I knew whenever I started a YouTube channel, if I ever did, that I wanted to tell this story because it was a pretty funny experience. I mean, in the moment it wasn't that funny, but looking back on it now, it is a funny story to tell. And it's just so convenient that I have a Disney YouTube channel, so this is a perfect story. So sit down, grab some popcorn, and let's get into the story. So this happened maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I was in high school. I had a Disney Pass every single year that I was in high school, and I would go about once or twice a week. I would go for dinner, just go on a couple rides, go for a full day. But I made good use out of my Disney Pass and I spent a lot of money at the Disney parks. And so this one particular day, I don't remember the circumstances, if it was after school or a weekend or something like that, but I went with my friend Sarah and she also had a Disney Pass. We would go all the time together. It was so much fun. But this one particular day, I was the only one that had a bag. So I told my friend Sarah, I was like, you can put all your stuff in my bag. That's cool. Whenever you need something, just grab it, you know? That was my first mistake. And so she kept all of her stuff in my bag, her wallet, her pass, all that stuff. And so I remember we park hopped over to California Adventure and I had her keep her pass in my front pocket just so it was easy to grab, put back when we were park hopping. When we park hopped to California Adventure, we scanned in. I was using my phone. Good thing to mention. I was using my pass on my phone because you can do that. And so I scanned in first. She said, you're all good to go. And then she scanned her pass and she was kind of looking a little weird, but she was like, all right, you're good to go. So, we went about our day, had our nice, fun California Adventure moment. And then I think California Adventure closed, so we're like, let's go back to Disneyland. End the night, we could get dinner, go on a couple rides, and then go home. Well, this is where the story gets a little bit interesting. We are walking over to Disneyland and I pull out my phone just so I have it ready to scan in and just get through the line quickly. And I pull out her pass and I give it to her. And we go through the turnstiles, I scan in, everything's fine. And then Sarah scans in. And almost immediately, it was like a split second, this lady snatches her pass, calls someone on the phone, gives it to them, and they leave. And they're like, yeah, you guys are done. Like, get out. And we're like, what? And she was like, you can't scan in the same pass. Like, you're trying to, like, break the system. Like, you can't do that. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, we both have passes. And she was like, it says you both scanned in as Donielle. And I was like, that's not possible because she has her own pass that she just used. She's like, no, they were both yours. So I open my front pouch and I see another pass in there. And I'm like, oh, whose pass is that? So all day I was pulling out my pass card and giving it to her to use while also using my pass card on my phone. I realized in that moment that that is why the lady at California Adventure gave us a weird little look. But she let us go. And I feel like she would have been very nice, even if. So I pull out her card and I'm like, oh, it was just a mistake. Like, I must have given her my pass on accident. Here's her pass. You can scan it if you want. Like, I swear we both have Disney passes. And she was just not having it. She was so dead set on us getting kicked out and banned from Disneyland. And I was like, okay, well, can I at least have my pass back, like, so I can come back another day? And she's like, no, we're taking it to get shredded right now. If you want to get it figured out, you can go to guest services and talk to them. But you're probably going to get your pass revoked. And yeah, with a happy smile. said it with a happy, jolly smile on her face. I was just kind of sitting there stunned. I was like, she wouldn't even give us the time of day, wouldn't even look at her pass to see that she indeed had an annual pass. Yeah, we got kicked out. It was not a fun experience, but I think it was a little unnecessary, especially knowing what I know now about park greeters and stuff like that. Having a friend being in park greeting, I think if it did happen at Disney World now, it would be a lot different. But that was a very chaotic moment. So me and Sarah go walking over to guest services just to find out they are closed and they are not opening until the morning. But you know, in the moment I was panicking because I was like, am I banned for life? Like, I don't think I did anything wrong. Like, I'm sure if she didn't have a pass, that would be totally valid. Like, if I'm trying to sneak her in, understood, but I wasn't. And so I'm freaking out. I'm sitting on a bench, like, just losing my mind. I'm like, I can't tell my parents. My parents are gonna freak out. They're gonna lose it and never let me do anything ever again. I'm calling the guest services number because I'm like, oh, maybe they're 24/7. And they're like, hi, we are closed. Call back at 8 a.m. And I was like, so I just have to like sit on this? Like, I was like, do I tell my parents? Do I not? I slept on it. I didn't tell my parents. I woke up in the morning and I called them. And I was like, hi, like, told them the whole rundown, gave them the whole situation. And they're like, yeah, unfortunately, your pass has been revoked. You cannot get another one for a year. And I was like, that's not gonna work. At this point, I was just a little frustrated because my friend did have a pass. It was a little bit of a misunderstanding. I mean, I could have been more attentive, but she had her pass. She had a card. If they looked her up in the system for 2 seconds, they could have been like, oh, just make sure you have your right pass. Don't do it again. I would have been like, I will never do that again because that was scary. But no. So I'm on the phone with them. They're like, yeah, sorry, there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, okay, 1 second. And I put the phone on mute and I tell my mom the situation. She's like, okay, give me the phone. My mom gets on the phone. I don't know what happened in this 30-minute phone call she had, but they said that if I went up to the ticket booth, I could get my pass reprinted and I was fine. And I was like, okay. And they're like, if it happens again, you're banned. And I was like, okay, it won't happen again. I've learned my lesson, thank you. And yeah, I went back that day to Disneyland with Sarah, and the exact same lady that shredded my pass was working. And so we went through return styles. I said a jolly, happy little hello, and she gave me the death glare, and I went about my way. And yeah, so that was my experience. Definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Definitely not going to be trying to experience that again. But thanks to my mom, I got my pass back. I do not have an annual pass anymore, just because I'm living in Oregon right now. But yeah, and then about a week later, they sent me a letter about how I was banned for a year, or my pass was revoked for a year. I couldn't get a new one, and I still have the letter. I have a screenshot of it, and I'm gonna put it right here and just read it to you guys because I think it's pretty comical. So this happened in 2016, so this was 6 years ago. I was 16, and this is the letter that I got. It says, Dear Donielle Taylor, this is to inform you that your annual passport was revoked on September 2nd, 2016 for a period of 1 year. If you would like further information regarding the revocation, please contact Guest Communications. And I got that after I got my pass back and stuff like that. So I guess immediately when they take your pass, they send you like a revocation letter. But yeah, I thought that was funny. I kept that. Me and my mom laughed about it later. But yeah, that was the story of the time that I got my pass revoked. I'm glad that it wasn't a permanent thing. It really was a misunderstanding. I could have been more attentive and organized on my part. I get that that's also my fault, but I did not try to sneak anyone into Disneyland. I'm not bold enough to try to do that. And yeah, so I just thought that was a really funny story time. I was really going through it that night, and I was just really glad that the next day, less than 24 hours later, I was able to redeem myself and not be kind of humiliated in front of Disneyland. So yeah, I just went back. I I didn't say anything rude. I wasn't being like condescending or anything. I just smiled and I said, hi, have a great day. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that story time. It was very short, but it's not like a huge story. It was just like a really minor inconvenience in my night. And yeah, so if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys very soon with another video.